What's up, everybody? This is Henry Fleischer here from the Cannabis Dispatch, also the CBD Business Networking group on Facebook. And I have a very special guest today. I have Michael Weinstein of Rebel Dreads Corp. So, Michael, tell us a little bit more about what Rebel Dreads is about.
So, Rebel Dreads Corp is a manufacturing company in Dallas, Texas. And what I'm first of all, I am a chef. So, I have started this company. So Rebel Dreads Corp is the parent name of the company. I kind of like to use the analogy like Frito-Lay, Doritos, Cheetos. So Frito-Lay is the parent brand, Frito-Lay, Pepsi, and they've got all these other brands underneath it. So under Rebel Dreads, in the Rebel Dreads umbrella, I've got Dreadhead Chef, which is my edible division. So with that, I've got a dessert salsas I make. So I've got strawberry mango, pineapple banana pecan, spice peach, and blueberry lemon. So they're all sweet, no heat, and they are infused with a broad spectrum and a little bit of isolate to increase my CBD. I've also got caramels, cinnamon, coffee, and salted, and those I use the biomass to make, so the actual flower and the bud of the hemp plant to make those. And then I do tinctures, cherry jubilee, peach melba, and strawberry shortcake, all organic MCT oils in there. And then I just use an all-natural flavoring. There is zero sugar added in the tinctures. So I've done all the formulation and everything, to get those correct. And I think with my chef background, that has helped with the flavor. So, and then I've also got Bada Wellness. And under the Bada division, it's topicals, topical, a larger thing called massage oil. And I even make an intimacy serum, which I'm sure you can probably guess where that goes. All organic MCT oil, all used with full spectrum oil. And then even I use essential oils in the massage or topicals. And then with the intimacy serum, I actually had a scientist help me make sure the flavoring that I was putting in there was going to be A-OK, especially in the area it was going to. So, didn't want anything bad to happen in that certain area. So then the last little division I've got is Harper's Pet Elixir, which is named after my bull mastiff I used to have. It was actually my first guinea pig with CBD. When he was like 7, he was diagnosed with both back legs with arthritis. So my friend who produces the oil out west just sent me a little sample, and I started using it, and it seemed to really, something started to happen with my dog in a positive light. So he lived about 10 and a half. So I've got 2 flavors, bacon and peanut butter, and they're just tinctures. And I also do it for 100 milligram for small dogs, 300 milligram for medium, and 500 for large dogs. And I even put a plastic dropper in there, because in case you want to put it in your pet's mouth, if it's a glass dropper, if your dog or cat bites down it, they can break it. So I took the little safety precautions in there, for carrying aspect. I love pets. More dogs than cats. Sorry, cat people. That's the worst thing to have happen is, trying to help your dog. Now you have to go to the vet because the dropper breaks in their mouth. So, but yeah, that's what Rebel Dreads is. I've actually launched in February of this year. So I'm brand new. Gone to a couple of Lucky Leaf shows here. Doing another one in Oklahoma, and, slowly starting to get the word out. And seeing the positive aspects of what I'm making for the people that are actually purchasing my products. So it's really amazing, and still every day awe-inspiring with what I have done and created, and the reaction I'm getting.
So this year, I was about to ask you when did you start. So, damn.
Yeah, I'm brand new.
And what was it that made you want to start Rebel Dreads?
Well, I had a company before. So Dreadhead Chef was a company before years ago, and I made dessert chips. So they were cinnamon and chocolate dusted corn chips, and then I had the salsas, and I just through research and stuff, I decided to go to a High Times Cannabis Cup event in Colorado. It was the first time. So Denver at this point, Colorado was not recreational, it's still medical. Mm-hmm. And just the reaction I got there. And at that point, I was like, I got to find a way to try to infuse this. Living in Texas, that was proving to be very difficult. So that was sort of the catalyst to it. And then, once I started giving my dogs CBD, and seeing the benefits of it, and then just doing more research and, with my own research in the cannabis or CBD, with it, I just wanted to be like, okay, well, how can I start helping people? So with some hemp flower I was able to kind of I started making the caramels. And so just started noticing that people were getting them and like, oh, for sleep and stuff. And they, they're like, you've changed my life. So when you start hearing that, me being a chef, when you make a dish and people come and eat and everything, and they love your food, it's not, they're not going, well, you just changed my life tonight. So when you start hearing people say, you've changed my life, just, with what I was making, was pretty amazing and really perpetuated me. I really got to do this and really want to do this. And it's it became more of a passion than working in a restaurant and being a chef in a restaurant. Is really, to be able to help people and give them an alternative medicine that I have seen the benefits of, whether it be my dog or me or other people, was the catalyst really going, okay, let's do something, really get it going.
Oh, wow. And what was the toughest thing you went through when you just opened up?
Definitely payment processing to get going. Fortunately, with like knowing the regulations and stuff, especially in the state of Texas, with food related, since I already had that knowledge, that was very helpful. I'd have to say the hardest thing was finding payment centers to accept your money, and banking. Even though we're CBD here, a lot of the big banks won't, take the money. So, and then since I'm a small company, by using a website, some of the bigger processing companies were like, oh, no, you're too small, we won't touch you. So, you kind of have to just find out who you can kind of use, and what goes with what platform was really difficult. But we finally, found that, got the right platform. I was able to get a bank that's actually in Texas. They have branches in Oklahoma and Colorado that take THC and CBD money. Mm-hmm. So, the big banks won't touch you. So I think that was the hardest thing. And then just the formulation of the products and getting them correct. Finding a good lab, since Texas is so new to this. I've actually had to send stuff out to California to get tested. Oh, So yeah, those were some of the difficulties. Actually, the food product, developing the food was pretty easy. Is the infusing part, especially the salsa, figuring out what could go, because you can't use full spectrum oil into water. It just kind of floats around. Mm-hmm. So I had to figure that one out. So I use a broad spectrum powder, and like I said, a little bit of isolate to bring my CBD level. I like the broad spectrum because it has some of the other minor cannabinoids in there.
Oh yeah, that's the entourage effect.
Right. Now there's no THC in the broad spectrum. Just there's a little CBG. There can be some CBN, but basically CBD.
And if somebody was to choose between your business and 3 others just like yours, why'd you suggest they go with you first?
I think I definitely care about what I'm doing. That's one. My background as a chef definitely helps with the flavor profile of everything. So I'm sure a lot of people have had, candies or any edibles that are just like, oh, what? There's that taste, that really medicine taste up front. So that flavor, I do believe it should be in the product and people should taste it, but I'd be able to make it to where it's more on the back end of your palate. And I do everything craft, so I actually do everything myself, and I believe in using higher quality ingredients over lesser quality ingredients. So if by doing that, the product will taste better. And I might spend a little more money up front, but at the end, it's about the people that are getting the products, and it's not really about me. If they can have a wonderful taste and able to enjoy that that flavor of the edible or the tincture, then great. Even with the topicals, the way they smell, the scents, making sure that it's not too overpowering, because I use I make a mint black pepper one as a topical, and so. I didn't use mentholatum, so you walk around smelling like Ben Gay for 5 hours or anything like that. So how they kind of develop those flavors And so I was able to work that. And that's why I think separates me from others that might use outsourcing a lab to go and create it for them. I've done all the, like I said, I've done all the creating and formulation myself.
Oh, wow. And what's the number one way you currently bring in new customers?
Well, I mean, we do a little bit of social. Lately, I've been able to, out in Dallas, I've been able to do some markets. So, some grassroots. I got shut out a lot at some of the markets because, oh, you're a supplement, or they just don't know about it, especially the ones that are set in a church parking lot. So that's really kind of been the word. And now doing your interview and a podcast last night, and going to these trade shows has been helpful. And also at the trade shows, I do chef demos. So it's kind of getting my name out, the brand out. So with the chef demos I do is I'm showing people how to decarb, even though there's no oven there, but the process of decarbing or decarboxylation, turning CBD-A into CBD or THC-A into THC, and then how to infuse into a fat and then make a dish out of it. So that's what I like to do for the demos, just to show how people that you can actually make something besides a brownie and a cookie, and keep it pretty simple for people at home to do, so it's not over complex or anything. So doing stuff like that is definitely helping get the name out, and seems more people are engaged, and starting to get a little bit orders here and there, more from people I don't know besides friends and family. So, which is really nice.
Because that's one thing I believe the CBD market needs is like products with like a culinary twist behind it, where it's like a little more gourmet, where it's coming from somebody with like an extensive background like yourself.
Right. So yeah, I mean, everything I developed, like even with the caramels, a lot of companies, there's high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup. I use all local honey. I use a really good butter. So I mean, I'm about ready to partner up with a local grower here. He's got his farm 3 hours away, but for hemp, and but he's got really, really pretty looking hemp. It just smells really nice. So the terpene profiles in it's great, and it's just gonna increase my product, the flavor of my product, and making it better. So they have these little partnerships with local people that are sort of have the same philosophy about caring about the consumer first, instead of going, how do I line my pockets with a bunch of cash first?
Because I mean, the one thing too is like hemp is a food pretty much. So even there's a market too. Like some people might not always want the sweets; they might want some of the savory.
Right.
So like you mentioned your salsa, and even maybe they want like a higher class candy where it's like, hey, where it's craft made.
Right. Yeah, these two hands make every caramel. I found molds. My fiance was able to find these good molds for me, so I've been using those. But yeah, I do. I go in the commercial kitchen and I make everything in there. So nothing's made at my house, by the way. I have all my licensing through the state of Texas. I have all my necessary food safety handler license. So I've got insurance. Those were some of the key startups for me as a lawyer, to have all those systems, those things in place before I even started. All my products have been tested for shelf life. So, but yeah, the salsa that I do make, it's I'm from Texas originally, so born and bred, and so I put a big twist on it. Like I said, it's because it's all sweet, so it's all fruit based. So there's no onions, peppers, or jalapenos or anything like that in it. So you can put it on ice cream, yogurt, and cheese, and actually, if a parent is wanting to give their kid CBD, we've heard the stories about it. It's kind of could be a good way for them to ingest or to get their daily dose, instead of parents squirting oil in their mouth because they might not like the taste of oil. So it's it's a nice medium for a kid, or for, obviously for adults mainly, but that's up to them to give to their kids.
Yeah. So what role has the internet played in your business becoming more prevalent?
Oh, well, it's definitely a reach to get people. So, by having the fact you do have a website. You can tell people go to your website. It has been really helpful. And then we're just starting to gear up our social media as well, which will become prevalent as well. It's just really, it's about getting the word out and, doing interviews with you. Well, obviously that was through social media. So, by adding new things, on the website, I'm sure, that we have to be very careful of what we say and what we put on there and what we do on the website. Because if we start making claims and everything, they will come out. The FDA will shut you down. So, or at least can shut your website down because, you're not supposed to make any medical claims. So, it's, in one way, the internet's great and the website's great. And another way, it's like, you got to be really, really careful about what you do. So, but it is, it's very convenient to go, you check out my website, especially, we're trying to get stores now. So for like wholesale orders, it's a lot easier for them to place an order. I give them their wholesale password and they go in and place an order of what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really convenient,
Oh, yeah, of course. And in the next 6 to 12 months, where would you like to see your business?
Definitely grow. I would like to, in the next 6 to 12 months, add, as soon as these get sort of everything, all the products are sorted out, probably add another product or two. Probably go in the savory, a little bit more of a savory direction with what I do. It's just growth, getting capital influx, getting more of the word out about my products and what they are and how they can be beneficial to people, and knowing that they're craft as well and that they're made with care. But yeah, it's definitely the growth, and even to co-pack for a couple of people who want me to have talked to me about making some products for them. One guy asked, he's like, "Hey, man, those caramels are really good. Could you make some and put my brand on it?" I was like, "No." So the caramels are sort of they're mine. I can't, I'm not going to cannibalize my own business by white labeling it for somebody else at that point, unless they just grow so much. But yeah, next 12 months is it's about growth for me as a company, getting more, my name out there more, or the brand's name out there more. And, showing that I care, even going to some more trade shows and doing more demos on how to cook with hemp, or, even in the legal states, I can, do a show, but I can't take any from Texas with me to those shows. Yeah. But I mean, I could still, it's the same concept when you're, doing a demo with hemp or you're doing it with THC. It's the principle's the same. It's just one psychoactive and one isn't. So, oh yeah, that's for me, that's the future. And, working with others, getting other collaboration with other good people in the business that have the same principle mindset of, helping other people that are looking for help with alternative natural medicine besides, opioids or anything synthetic.
Of course, because I think one thing too, like I bet there are going to be restaurants popping up where it's like they only cook with like hemp. All their items have hemp somewhere in there, or CBD.
Right. So yeah, that one's going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work out here in this state. Yeah, but some people are. I haven't heard any restaurants doing it yet, but I guess it's, in one way, it doesn't need to be in everything we eat. Not everybody wants to have it. So not every dish needs to have it in, if that makes any sense. I mean, I don't eat hemp every single day, like in an edible or anything like that. So, I mean, I might take a little tincture, but I mean, I don't make, sit around my house and, making dinner and make sure I infuse it every time I eat something. So, but I mean, here and there, I think it's really like if with restaurants, if they want to use hemp, it's really about how to use it in different ways, whether it be maybe the leaves of the plants and doing something like that, sort of a, I'm sure you've heard of a hemp pesto or something to go on a pasta, you mix the leaves and the basil and the garlic and the, and the cheese and the pine nuts together. So you get the little bit of the the cannabis flavor from the leaves, and the leaves are actually very healthy for you. So the guy actually that I'm going to be partnering up, he's got some leaves for me, so I'll probably juice them here when I get them from him. So I mix a little juice with carrots and kiwi and lime, lemon, and then in the hemp leaves.
Oh, that's right. I like to try that, like in the raw juices. Oh,
yeah, the raw juices. Yeah.
I think that's something that's not talked about enough either.
Right. So if I can get the leaves, I'll do it. I don't have a really great green thumb, so if I can get a bunch of leaves, I can juice it, and then then you play with it, because the leaves really, there's not much potency to them unless it's near the bud. So especially the fan leaves, but they just have they're just very nutritious. I mean, more nutritious than people think. They're just really, there's not a lot of liquid in them. So you really got to add, that's why I add carrots and stuff to it, and a kiwi. But the raw juice actually tastes really good. Actually, add a little ginger to it as well. And if you want even more health benefits, you got turmeric.
Turmeric is like the most powerful antioxidant out there.
Right. So doing things like that. And, would I get into juicing and making a line like that? I don't know. At that point, it's about, making sure, first of all, at that point, making sure it's got a shelf life, so it won't go bad on somebody. At that point, that's science there. That's that becomes a little bit more difficult, but it can be done with testing and making sure you're doing it right. Like all my products, I don't like adding preservatives, so none of my products have any preservatives in them. Believe it or not, they're all 100% zero preservative free.
But there's some natural preservatives too, like in some foods, like if you have if there's a lot of salt and garlic, that can help preserve.
Right. My preservative is in the salsa, is the lime juice, or the acidity of the fruits.
Oh, the lemons too. Yeah, the citrus.
And the lemons.
Yeah.
And then sugar is a preservative. And then since I use honey, honey really never goes bad. So honey is a good preservative as well. And then even the caramels, my water activity is so low that they're not going to go bad. They might get a little bit, like if you have it on the counter for like 5 months, it might get a little bit, get a little crystallized a little bit, but it's still 100% edible with no problem at all. But I do get a good amount of honey in there in the caramels instead of the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, so. I've seen like some people are making it like CBD infused honeys too. I know the bees likes it. Hemp.
People are doing. They're using. I think they're using either ice. I think they're using isolate. Some guys are actually using full spectrum distillate to put it in their honey as well.
Yeah.
So it is being done.
It's always like a good thing, to have the honey in there.
Yeah, honey. I mean, honey is actually very good for you. So, so you get the benefit of that. And even I've got a cinnamon caramel. I use cinnamon powder. So I'm using the straight cinnamon, which is has health benefits for you as well. So the coffee one, not as healthy, but.
You said you use biomass for the coffee, correct?
I use biomass for all 3 caramels. So I use I use a good amount of the hemp flour. So the caramels, up front have that, oh wow, that's a caramel. Then all of a sudden it's like, boom, there's the. Wow, yeah, that tastes like weed. So, I mean, you definitely know you've got something in there, and I like that fact, because when people are eating it, they can go, okay, yeah, I am getting my medicine today. I really know I am getting something in there, instead of using straight isolate, which is flavorless. You really don't know what's in there. So I like that aspect, and since I am using the biomass, the flower, the bud. It's as full spectrum as you can get right there. So you got your 0.3 or less of THC, your CBD, your CBG, your CBN. So you got it all by using the biomass. Oh,
well, one thing too, like CBD, I feel like helps counteract some of the effects of coffee too. Sometimes you can be jittery, so it takes that away.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I use a local coffee company here. And I mean, I'm not using a lot of coffee, so I'm not using decaf because of the process it goes through. I just use caffeinated, but I mean, it's such a small amount that I put in there. It's more for flavoring. I actually make a a cold brew, but I mean, it's such a small amount that I use in it, and I use some really fine grounds in there to give it the flavor of coffee. So it's kind of you get more of the coffee at the very beginning when you put it, and then it kind of goes to a caramel. Then all of a sudden you get the hemp flavor. So it's really a nice balance.
Yeah.
The salted ones are my number one, of course.
So I know you touched a little bit about like the challenges that comes to like getting a merchant processor or bank, but what about from the FDA about regulations about how much content you put in this food and that?
Well, that's why I have an attorney who's diverse in cannabis laws in Texas and in Florida and just through the U.S. And so really relied on her with the wording of what could be done and what could not be done. And so, I mean, we haven't even really gone through the FDA at all. No one's come after us or has said anything. So, but I mean, we have all on our labels, all the necessary things we need to say on there. And the fact that, I am licensed through the state of Texas. I have a regular manufacturing license and a hemp manufacturing license. So, for the regulatory part, I am completely 100% legit. And, I wanted to do this 100% legit. So, even, third-party testing. So when it's actually got to take products to a lab today to get tested to make sure. So, so far that has not been an issue. I think if, on our website or if our, on social, if we started making, all the medical claims that we're not supposed to make, that I keep hearing because people telling me about them. I think at that point, there would be a red flag drawn in. Even our attorney has, she's been really diligent saying, do not say this, do not say this, do not say this. It's okay to say this. So I think that's been extremely helpful. And then just, we got all the typical warnings you would have to have on a label. I don't know if you can really see it, but everything we got in there, I wanted to do by the book. So, but so far that's been no problem.
Oh, awesome. What advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about entering the space?
Do your research.
Always good advice right there.
If you don't know, ask a lot of questions. I think that's what, when I guess when you asked me some of the difficulties, another one, I guess, subject I didn't bring up was, for people that are wanting into this, they don't know how to make it. Well, I'm going to go to somebody to make my product, to white label it for me. Well, a lot of those companies are going to want you to make, I'm just going to throw a ridiculous, like 10,000 units of one product. So do you really want to be stuck with 10,000 units of one product and take a gamble on that? Or are you going to make it yourself? So my friend out west in California that produces, that I get my distillate from, I mean, he told me the same thing. He's like, I can make it for you, but I mean, you're going to need to give me I'll have to do 5,000 vials for you. And that's a lot when you're just going, let me just try to get it going first. So do your research. Definitely, if you can make it yourself, start making yourself. I mean, once you figure out how to do it and go through all the testing, it really is, it's just more time consuming and tedious work instead of hard labor, like busting your behind in the kitchen or anything like that. So, and then make sure if you're going to do it, do not do it at your house. I mean, do all your research at your house, but if you're going to make a product to sell, make sure you do it in a sanitary area and a commercial kitchen or somewhere. Sometimes churches might let you to make products in. That's kind of, since they do have commercial kitchens. Or maybe someone, you reach out to someone like me, maybe I'd make something smaller for you. If you want to, but it's really, it's all about doing your research, taking your time and figuring everything out. And then, if you're not sure, ask questions.
Oh, that's it. Got it. And how can somebody get a hold of you as well, too, if they have any questions about
website is rebeldreadscorp.com. I've also got email, which is the business email. It's askus, ASKUS, @rebeldreadscorp.com.
Got it. So you're more than welcome to be on. It was great having you on. Thank you again for your time.
You're welcome very much. Thank you for the interview. Appreciate it.
No problem.